Hi, Mevers family. Let's get started. We're just going to do a quick little summary of the Mevers Minutes. First of all, just as a reminder, you're probably already aware of this, but we over the weekend we each do a page, then we share that with each other, and then whoever's the one who finishes it up, then we'll post that. The first page generally is some kind of a message from me, and then Miss Coyle is going to talk about like building operations, and then Miss Davidson's going to talk about all the curriculum things. Mr. Coward, if he has anything he needs to add, he'll run that through. And the academic coaches, as well as Mr. Swartz, if they have things they would like to add, they run that through Ms. Davidson. So with that, I'll talk about the first page. As I mentioned, I was listening to a service, not that it has anything to do with the fact it was a service, but it was by this guy named Rick Warren. And Rick Warren runs this church called Saddleback Church in California. And he was talking about the fact that they were taking a little bit of heat from some people because they have not opened up their campus. And first of all, they have about 60,000 members. So in order for them to open up their campuses throughout, it would obviously be a very large gathering. With that, the goal that he made, and I thought it was clear because although we're changing things, and we just had in South Carolina where they're talking about opening up, going full capacity at restaurants, although I don't think that's happening here in Charleston. But with that, nothing's changed. The virus is as lethal as it was. It spreads just as easily as it did. Therefore, if the numbers are dropping, it's really because of us being prudent. And here in South Carolina, it may very well be because vacationers from the north aren't coming down anymore because school's back in session. So with that, we're seeing a drop. But what we don't want to do is let that get us to where we're not as diligent or vigilant in continuing to follow our safety protocol. If anything, we really need to step up our game and just make sure that what we were doing in August, we're continuing to do. And let me just tell you, that applies to me as well as everyone, maybe more than everyone. So just I really wanted to focus on safety first, what we're doing as far as the serve team, and then what I would ask you to do in your classes with your students as far as making sure we're safe. And Ms. Coyle and I and Ms. Davidson are actually meeting a little later today to firm up that plexi order. And the goal is to have plexi for like 3 locations, I think at a minimum at the small group table, plexi for every student in the class, as well as plexi in the cafeteria. So with that, we should be very well plexied out. But again, no one individual thing solves it. But we know this, that even when there's a vaccine, nothing is going to stop the spread more effectively than wearing a mask. So it's so important that we make sure our kids are masked up and that we're masked up and following social distance. And obviously the next thing was certainly not a political statement, but your heart goes out to anyone who has a rather severe case of COVID. And, with a man who's 74 years old with some pre-existing conditions, it's very dangerous. And it sounds like they kind of had to throw the entire kitchen sink at the president of our country, and no one's tested more or monitored more, and even the president can get this. So we just want to continue to be diligent and continue to focus and be aware, that we're doing a service. We are first line, we're first responders, we're essential workers, but we need to keep ourselves safe and our kids safe. So that was a summary of my first page. And I just really felt that it was necessary for us to all be on board with that. The serve team has got to model that as well. Okay, moving on to the second page.
On the second page, again, nut sensitive areas, please be cognizant if you are eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or any kind of nuts going anywhere in the building. We do have students that are sensitive, airborne allergies, and we do have someone at the front desk who also has an airborne allergy and can really hinder their day if they are exposed to any kind of nut or peanut. So please make sure we're being cognizant of that around the building. Facilities, make sure we're using that ticket system. Mr. Schwartz created that nice little link on how to go through that process. So make sure we're using that ticket system. It's really important. It helps us know whether we need more employees for the facilities in the building, and as far as IT, so we can keep track of everything as well. Hall passes, we have more hall passes. We're going through them like water, so I'm going to have to order some more again, but we do have them downstairs. If you need them, please just contact Katie or Jess, and they'll be happy to get them to you. Make sure when we come in and do drive-bys, walkthroughs, or just even come in and your Eagles, observations, evaluations, don't stop instructing and say, hey, how can I help you? What do you want? Like that's happened before, and we kind of just don't want to do that. Just keep going. It's just we're in there just to see and celebrate the good things you're doing. We're not in there to judge. So just keep on instructing and doing what you're doing, which is teach, which is what you're all good at. Practice, practice, practice. Make sure we're practicing our policies and procedures. We don't want to start getting lax in those, especially when we have new kids coming back in a couple weeks again. Lunch counts, we're still going to be doing on the papers until we get our new thing in the cafeteria. It's going to be a system set up where it's going to be laminated. You write on it. They're going to wipe it off. They're going to put it in a certain slot, and then you just pick that up when you pick up your students. So you have it back every day, so we don't have to worry about delivering those and running out of paper slips. And that'll be coming out shortly once I get the thing attached to the wall. Mask, if you have little ones, if their mask is too big, teachers are saying it's falling down. It really kind of defeats the purpose of having a mask. So if there's any littles that have masks on that are too big, don't fear sending them to Nurse Shannon. She'll be more than happy to take care of that and get them a little kitty one. PD hours, make sure our PD hours you keep track and have your certificates, because again, you do need that 120 hours every 5 years. Things that we do in the building here, we're going to be creating a system and keeping track of as far as like PLCs, things that are allowable and things that are not allowable that can have hours attached to them. And we're going to be submitting them twice a year to Erskine for them to submit them to the state for us, which is great. But you should also make sure you're keeping track of your own professional development hours outside of school as well. Staff lunch purchases, if you are purchasing lunch, if you have in the past and you haven't squared up, please square up to lunch ladies, and also make sure that if you want a larger portion, you're going to be paying a larger portion. Right now, they only charge you $2 or $2.50 for a small portion. If you want to double it, they have no problem doubling the portion for you. And our last thing was our shout outs this week to Miss Shannon and James Bennett. If you see our nurse, make sure you congratulate her and thank her for all that she does throughout the building, and same things with Mr. Bennett. Make sure you congratulate and thank him too for everything he's been doing with technology. And that's my second page.
Oh, your mic is muted. Were you talking?
I was. Hey, listen, Coyle, seriously, on the peanut thing, where can we, I mean, if like here in my office, that's okay?
Yeah, you can in your office. That's fine. It's just when you have like peanuts, because Jess is highly sensitive and it's an airborne thing to her. So if somebody has peanuts and they go down, they talk to her, make sure your mask's up so she can't, that enzyme doesn't get through there, because it happened last week. And I was glad that we had Benadryl in the nurse's office so she can take it and she was fine. But if you're in your office and everything, just be cognizant once you're walking around after you have them. Don't immediately go talk to Jess. Have some soda or something.
Okay, excellent. Okay, I got some. Okay, Ms. Davidson, you're up.
On the third page, so just a couple of things this week. We brought a walkthrough form to the grade leads. We're tweaking it with their feedback and then going to present it at our PLCs this week. A couple people have reached out about logo items. I contacted Reeds. They set a shift date of October 8th or 9th. So as soon as I get that, I will let you all know. A huge shout out to Ms. Stutz for organizing our first Food Truck Friday. We hope you enjoyed it. Our next one is going to be October 29th, and it's Bits and Bites. Really good food too. And then we're also, I left this off the Mevers Minutes, but we are going to have a chili cook-off on October 16th. So if you see the sign-up form in the Teacher's Lounge, sign up. The more chili, the better. And we'll have prizes for that as well. If you need an app installed on the iPads, there is a link. I heard that the link wasn't working in the comments. So if you go to the Mevers Minutes from last week, it's fixed. I'll also drop it in the comments as well. This week, our instructional change form went out. So there's details about that. I will make sure that you're updated on any students that are coming back to you. And then Eager Eagles, Miss Stutz and Miss Foxworth went around to give coupons. Not yesterday, Friday. So if you want to use those, you can bring them to the coach's office and we will get you those treats or your coverage, jeans pass, etc. Friday is a dress down day for students, favorite sportswear. I will wear Heat gear. They won last night. And then Port A Pizza as well on Friday. There's also another shout out from Schwartzy to James. Thank you, James, for all you do to make our technology run, our parents, our students, our teachers. We wouldn't be where we are without you. And that's it.
Hey, Ms. Davidson, on the chili cookout, I've got some really exciting news. Here's what I have. I managed on Friday, even though it was a very busy day, I got a hold of the National Chili Association, as you're aware, because I've won so many chili cook-offs, they've pulled my amateur status. But they have decided that they are going to let me participate since it's a school activity. So otherwise, I was going to have to bring in my chili, but people couldn't vote for it. But they've allowed me this one time. They've made an exception. So I am able to actually participate and make sure on that trophy that you give, that rather large trophy, that you spell my last name correctly. I would appreciate that. And you can go ahead and print that up if you want.
Just get it ready.
That trophy is going to have to, you spell it Coyle is how you spell the winning chili cook-off person's name.
Okay. Well,
Sorry.
Hey, again, I'm just glad. I'm just excited really, I'm more excited for everyone other than me because they get a chance to vote for my chili. And I'm glad you get that opportunity. Okay, guys. Hey, thank you. Enjoy. Have a great week. Take care.
Bye.